Bombings at a mosque and restaurant in central Nigeria killed dozens as Boko Haram continues its reign of terror. History is made in Somalia as the country hires its first female prosecutors. And back in the day, someone surprising was keeping up with the Kardashians. Africa 54 starts right now.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. First tonight, more bloodshed in Nigeria. Officials say at least 44 people were killed in bombings at a mosque and a restaurant in the central city of Jos. The blast, which happened late Sunday, also wounded at least 47 others. The attacks continue, a deadly string of violence blamed on Boko Haram militants that has left more than 200 people dead in the past week. Earlier Sunday, a suicide bomber walked into a church in Potiskum, the largest city in Yobe State, and detonated a bomb that killed at least 5 people. That followed a suicide attack Friday near Maiduguri, where officials say 6 women set off blasts that killed dozens of people. U.S. State Department spokesman John Kirby condemned the recent Boko Haram attacks in a statement late Sunday and pledged support for the Nigerian people in their struggle against violent extremism. Boko Haram, whose name in the Hausa language means Western education, is a sin, has attacked countless villages, markets, bus stations, government buildings and places of worship since launching its uprising in 2009. The insurgency has driven an estimated 1.5 million Nigerians from their homes. Well, we continue it now to Greece, where the vote is in, and the Greek people are saying no to a bailout from the European Union in return for more spending cuts. Earlier results suggest the no camp is one with around 61% of the vote. All eyes are now on Europe's response. Henry Ridgewell reports from Athens.
By sunset, Syntagma Square outside Parliament was filling with jubilant Greeks. Polls had suggested a tight result. In the end, Greece, by a wide margin, rejected Europe's offer of a bailout in return for more austerity.
As a Greek, I feel very proud that people did not have fear. They voted with their hearts.
Among the no supporters, there is a sense of surprise at the apparent scale of their victory, and also a sense of relief that the chapter of 5 years of austerity may be coming to an end. But there is a sense of the unknown over what happens when the party ends.
I don't know what tomorrow brings. I'm a little bit concerned. I hope that this no that the Greek people have said to Europe and the world is not seen as no to the euro.
That is exactly the warning Brussels officials had given Greece before the vote. But the scale of the victory is an emphatic vote of confidence in Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras.
You have made a generous choice. However, I'm fully conscious that the mandate you have given me is not a mandate against Europe, but a mandate to find a sustainable solution with Europe that will take us out of the vicious cycle of austerity.
Greeks will get a first idea of Europe's response to their rejection Monday morning, when the European Central Bank meets to decide whether to continue propping up Greek banks. That relief may be short-lived. Henry Ridgewell for VOA News, Athens.
Well, as Greece and Europe contemplate possible scenarios for the days ahead following the no vote, Africa 54's Zoe Ludacki reached out to Harris Milonas, Assistant Professor of Political Science and International Affairs at George Washington University, to get some perspective. He talked to her from his home in Thessaloniki, the second largest city in Greece.
The thunderous no vote to the referendum in Greece surprised even the Greek people and instigated skepticism among the European leaders. This referendum was characterized as a catalyst for the Greek political scene, according to Harris Milonas.
The thing we know for certain is that this has definitely strengthened the Prime Minister Tsipras, both inside his party, but also at the country level as a whole. But at the same time, it has also become a catalyst for changes in the opposition. We saw the former Prime Minister Adonis Samaras resigning, and that was met with a lot of approval by many of his own party members that have been asking implicitly for it for a while. But also it has been met with approval by many of the Greeks that, as you know, because of this austerity going on for 5 years, they're really eager to basically see new faces and do away with the old guard.
A crucial meeting with the European leaders is set for tomorrow, where Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras will present his aid proposal.
We have some signs at the moment where basically we're seeing that some of the European powers are still holding a harsh line. But at the same time, this is all individuals and so on and so forth to wait for the Eurogroup meeting tomorrow, and then the heads of states are meeting later in the day, and we'll have to wait for their official positions.
The Greek government plans to extend the closure of banks beyond Monday by at least a few more days, according to banking sources. In the meantime, as the enthusiasm of the referendum starts to wane and the lines continue to form in front of the ATMs, the Greek people are growing increasingly worried about the future of their country. Zoe Liudaki for VOA News.
Well, we take you back now to Nigeria, where we mentioned a while ago that militants have continued their string of attacks against civilians. Now, to get more on the attacks in Nigeria, Yemi Kosoko of Channels TV joins us live by phone from Jos. Yemi, welcome to Africa 54.
Oh, thank you.
Now, we know that the attacks have continued without let-up now for several weeks. What are people saying? Because the president had promised to get a handle on this situation.
Well, people are not really happy that 2 months into the regime, there is still explosions, killings, and attacks by the insurgents in some of the cities. And the one which just happened in Jos Plateau State, where 44 people were killed and another 47 injured, and they are receiving treatment. A lot of people are not really happy that the president has promised that there will be an end to insurgency. However, it is yet to be realized.
Now, today, the governor the governor of Jos actually visited the site of the attacks. What is he saying? What is he telling the citizens?
Well, he's assuring the people of safety to life and property, while also he said he has discussed with the president because recently the president ordered that the military checkpoints should be discarded in the various cities across the country, and the governor Bako, Simon Lalong, says he will be discussing with the president to see how there will be a reversal of that order in which there will be reintroduction of military checkpoints so as to check the excesses and probably the intrusion of some of these insurgents through the various routes coming into the state of Plateau.
Now, 200 people dying in the space of a few days. What has been the government's message to the people? How is the government reassuring people that it is doing something about the threat of Boko Haram?
You recall that recently when Buhari took over, he moved the defense strategic room to Maiduguri so that there can be an instant attack and, of course, to have first-hand information on the insurgents. So the government has been trying to consolidate on the past government's efforts in securing all the states of the Federation and to also see that the insurgents are checked in their strongholds. However, with the attack on the insurgents, a pocket of them that have been able to escape into the hinterlands, they are the ones that are causing a lot of havoc in various states. While in Maiduguri and Yobe, per se, there have been consistent attacks on worship centers, and the recent was over the weekend on Saturday and on Sunday, where some churches were attacked.
All right.
leading to the killing of some of the worshippers.
Thank you.
And the one that occurred in Jos.
Thank you, Yemi. We'll continue watching developments there in Nigeria. Yemi Kosoko of Channels TV reporting live from Jos in Nigeria. Now, all the way to East Africa in Somalia, history is being made. For the first time, 6 female prosecutors have been appointed as the government seeks to rebuild the country's justice system, hoping to effectively fight corruption and impunity. Abdulaziz Bello has the story from Mogadishu.
Samira Hussein is one of the 6 female prosecutors, the first ones ever hired by the country's Justice Department. Samira and 5 others were recently appointed to improve the delivery of justice in a nation slowly emerging from more than 2 decades of civil war. Abdullah Ahmed Jama is Somalia's Justice Minister. He has high expectations for the new prosecutors.
You have all been given a major role to play in the justice sector. You are expected to offer justice to society. All of you are required to uphold the principles of fairness and equality before the law. And I have trust and confidence that the new 6 female prosecutors will deliver on these promises.
After the fall of President Mohamed Siad Barre in 1991, Somalia's court system stopped working. And with no rule of law for years, impunity, corruption, nepotism and favoritism took the place of justice in the East African nation. Samira is a graduate of Somalia National University and Malaysia University. She hopes to use the knowledge she acquired to make the courts fair again.
Our main priority is to fight corruption. We've received many complaints from the public, complaining of no justice and court structures. People have complained to us that corruption is used to determine justice in this country. We will eradicate corruption and restore equal rule of justice and fairness in the Somali justice system.
The country's senior law officials want the 6 women to pay special attention to crimes against women and children, which usually go unpunished in Somalia.
There is one major thing that is expected of you. Both my office and that of my deputy will assist you in tackling crimes against women, children, and the underprivileged in the society. Their cases should be dealt with first and given priority.
Somalia's justice system now has at least 17 prosecutors. Plans are underway to deploy at least 1 in every region of the country. Once that happens, the government hopes that prisoners in detention centers will effectively be granted full legal rights and be presented in courts for trial. Somalia has a long way to go to rebuild its justice system, but experts say that this is a major step towards returning law and order to a strife-torn nation. Abdulaziz Bello for VOA News, Mogadishu.
The head of the United Nations Cultural Organization says the loss of ancient artifacts destroyed by militants in Iraq and Syria has long-term implications for security and peace in the region. The official spoke in London, and VOA's Al Pesson reports.
Militants from the Islamic State group proudly distributed this video of its fighters destroying ancient artifacts at the museum in Mosul, Iraq, in February. The group considers the statues and sculptures blasphemous because they're not in keeping with Islamic tradition. The resulting outcry by archaeologists and other experts received some criticism from people who said the loss of plaster and stone cannot compare to the tens of thousands of deaths and injuries in the conflict. But at London's Chatham House, UNESCO Director General Irina Bukova said the concern is about much more than stones and artwork.
Safeguarding cultural heritage is a security imperative and a peace-building measure.
Bukova says destroying evidence of their culture makes it more difficult for people caught in conflicts to recover, leaving them more vulnerable in the future.
All of this, I believe, is part of the same strategy, which I call cultural cleansing. Cultural cleansing is a violation of human rights for thousands, if not millions, of women and men, for the communities. But it also undermines the possibility for future dialogue, peace building and reconciliation.
Any peace building or reconciliation seems far away in the war zones of Iraq and Syria, and UNESCO says many of the cultural relics that are not being destroyed are being sold illegally to finance more militant operations. Bukova says the organization is working to fight the trade in illicit artifacts and bring the perpetrators to justice. But it's a complex and difficult effort, and in the meantime, militants are continuing to destroy any trace of cultures different from their own. Al Pessin, VOA News, London.
Want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we covered during the conversation on Facebook? The address is Africa54, and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. Find me on Twitter at VOA Vince Makori. All coming up, honoring African pioneers and trailblazers. Stay with us.
This is BizBeat.
Egging on Uber, literally, as striking French taxi drivers throw eggs to protest the web-based ride-hire company and others like it.
Uber, c'est du travail dissimulé.
Taxi driver Ismail says Uber is illegal. He says people work without a license, they pay no insurance, and their cars are not up to standards, he says. But Uber and companies like it are in demand in cities around the world, and protests by cabbies occurring everywhere from Mexico to Indonesia are creating travel nightmares for commuters, and local governments are scrambling to deal with the new transportation model. But Anthony loves the freedom a company like Uber offers.
I'm free, actually. I'm my own boss, you know. If I don't want to work today, I can.
Uber operates in over 300 cities in 57 countries. From VOA's BizBeat, I'm Philip Alexio.
Well, Africa is coming to town. Now, the Facelist Awards will take place in New York City on July the 11th. The awards are organized by Face to Face Africa to honor pioneers and trailblazers in several fields, including business, leadership, sports, entertainment, technology, health, and the non-profit sector, also known as the Pan-African Weekend. The event is possibly one of the most prestigious annual gatherings of people of African heritage in the United States. This year's honorees include actor Boris Kodjo and Amadou Gallo Fall, NBA Vice President and Managing Director for Africa. Now, to tell us more about the awards, Sandra Appiah, Vice President of Operations at Face to Face, joins us live by Skype from New York. Miss Appiah, welcome to Africa 54.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yes, now, you're welcome, and we know you have such a big weekend come the 11th. But the Facelist Awards is like the climax of the event. Tell us what else is happening on that Pan-African Weekend.
Sure. So the Pan-African Weekend is really an action-packed 3-day event that we seek to highlight and celebrate the ideas and success stories that are emerging within the Pan-African community each year. So we have a youth-oriented program on Friday, which we host in collaboration with the African Union at the UN. And so about 5 really powerful young people under the age of 30 will give presentations and talk about the organizations. These are just outstanding young people in technology, innovation, and social entrepreneurship. So we are giving them the platform to talk about their work and their vision for Africa, because we really believe that the youth, are the future, and we want to be able to give them the platform to share the ideas and also to connect with the pioneers whom we're also celebrating on Saturday. So that's Friday, and we have a few social events as well. Friday evening, we have a networking mixer, and then Saturday after the awards, we have an after party, and then we have a closing jazz brunch. So pretty packed.
Sounds exciting. Now, people want to know, is this just a privilege of those who live in New York and the surrounding towns, or are you bringing people from all over the United States?
Absolutely. We're bringing people from all over the United States and all over Africa and really around the world. Some of our honorees actually, live in Africa. Madu Galafol, you mentioned, he's coming from South Africa. We also have quite a few companies and organizations who are being represented, and they'll be flying in from around the continent as well. So, yeah, everyone is welcome. We have people coming from Atlanta, from D.C., from Texas. So it's really going to be a beautiful occasion.
I might have missed something here, but how does somebody get nominated? Because I noticed I'm not in the list.
It's coming, I promise. Basically, we have a board of advisors. So our advisory board, committee of advisors are charged with the responsibility of selecting the honorees. So we go through, it's really a 2-month period where we go through nominations, and our review board goes through the list of potential nominees. And at the end, we select, this year we came up with 7 lists of just incredible trailblazers who paved the way, for young people, and we're so proud to tell their stories on Saturday.
Hey, very briefly, does this award or these awards, do they come with like some monetary attachment to them?
I wish, but no, not yet.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. But what we are giving them is, we at Face to Face Africa believe that it's crucial for Africans to celebrate our success stories and to tell our own stories. And, we're committed to that. And so, it's part of the bigger mission of just telling our stories. I mean, you would probably never know that Fumbi Chima, who's the Chief Information Officer, she's one of the leaders in technology now, and she's from Nigeria. So the type of stories we want to highlight.
That is great. That's worth more than money.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Sandra.
Thank you.
Well, Sandra Appiah is Vice President of Operations at Face to Face. She joined us live by Skype from New York. Well, it's time now for a short break. Still to come on Africa 54, O.J. Simpson lived where? Well, a big reveal from Kim Kardashian. We'll be right back.
قررنا بعد أخذ رأي
jinsi tutakavyosimama na kutengeneza usafi, tuwe safi na sisi. Unanisikia? Ielewe sasa hivi Vikuyu Njirizi tushafunga. Sio vile?
Welcome back to Africa 54. Here's what's trending. A homeless man creating an online journal of his daily struggles on the streets of Moscow has become an internet sensation in Russia. Zenya Yakud, who started his video blog in late May, has already gone viral with over 38,300 subscribers to his YouTube channel and receiving over 1.1 million views. The self-proclaimed bomb blogger says he wants to show viewers a side of Moscow life that they have not seen before. The series of videos uploaded to his online page vary from showing viewers how to travel for free in the Russian capital, find places where they can wash with hot water, and ways of making money by selling on items others have discarded in waste bins. Well, next up, Kim Kardashian revealed that O.J. Simpson stayed with her father, Robert Kardashian, during his infamous murder trial. Kim told Rolling Stones that O.J. moved into Khloe's room and that she took her dad's side during the trial. Kardashian was one of Simpson's defense attorneys. That caused family tension since her mother, Kris, was good friends with Nicole Brown Simpson. When asked what she thinks about the trial now, well, it's weird. I just try not to think about it. Well, and finally, internet-savvy Cubans slowly find freedom to roam. Cuba says it's expanding internet access by adding Wi-Fi capacity to dozens of state-run internet centers and more than having the cost for users. What is the first significant expansion of the country's online world since Barack Obama said the communist government had told him they would give their people more internet access. The service is slow compared to what foreign users are accustomed to, but connectivity-starved islanders, well, it's an invaluable chance to access Facebook, read news, and communicate with friends and family overseas. And that is what is trending today. Well, it's been an exciting week in sports. For all of the highlights, we turn to Sonny Young with the sunny side of sports. Sonny.
Hi, Vincent, and sporty greetings once again to our Africa 54 viewers. Here's a sunny side of sports salute to the U.S. women's national soccer team, which won a record third World Cup title by beating defending champion Japan 5-2 in Vancouver, Canada. The Americans exploded for 4 goals during the first 16 minutes of the game. USA captain Carly Lloyd was the player of the match and the player of the tournament. She received the Golden Ball Award given to the best player at the Women's World Cup after scoring 3 first-half goals in Vancouver. Hey, Carly, how does it feel to be World Cup champion?
I don't think it's entirely sunk in. Like I said, I'm so proud and so zapped at the same time. It's a surreal moment. It's been amazing. I mean, we just wrote history today and brought this World Cup trophy home, which is unbelievable. But at the end of the day, you know, I think that I've pushed on my status a little bit, and I have to stay up here. So it's you know, not right away, but I'll be back to work and, you know, back stronger than ever.
As Carly Lloyd said, the American women wrote history with their third World Cup championship. Their 2 previous titles came in 1991 and 1999. They also gained some revenge on the Japanese after losing to the Asian squad in the 2011 final. I'm VOA Sonny Young, and that's the sunny side of sports, sending the ball back to Vincent Makori.
Whoa. Thank you very much, Sonny. And remember to watch the sunny side of sports every Monday and Friday right here on Africa 54. That's our show for today. Be sure to watch Africa 54 on our website at voaafrica.com for more news. Tune in to VOA's evening radio show, Africa News Tonight, at 1800 UTC. And in the mornings today, Break Africa between 0300 and 0600 UTC, Monday through Friday. Thanks a lot for watching. From all of us here in Washington, have a good night.
I'm Abdishakur Aboud with VOA Listeners' Question. This is VOA. Follow us online at voaswahili.com.
Real talk, real issues. The Real Africa. It's time to get the scoop. Monday through Friday on VOA. Find your time zone and get the scoop. I'm Vincent Makori from Africa 54. This is VOA. Follow us on Africa 54. Go to facebook.com/VOA Africa 54.